I just do something in that moment, not really thinking about the consequences.
Okay.
And then I suffer them.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Bad Times, Good Stories podcast. My name is Joe Flanders. I hope you're having a great week. I am, because I know that you guys get to listen to today's episode featuring comedian Ari Mannis. He is a really funny guy. He's touring with big names like Theo Von and many others all over the country. He also has his own podcast called Unlicensed Therapy, where he gives unsolicited advice to his friends and fellow comedians. And we are talking about some internet pranks, specifically Facebook pranks, some of which that really blew up in his face, and some that he still has no real remorse for. It's a really fun conversation, something we haven't really talked about before. We as a culture are just dying to be enraged and offended by what we see online, and then we feel the need to tell everybody that we are offended. Obviously, sometimes that's merited. Sometimes that has merit, but sometimes it's all over nothing. It was a really fun conversation. I really appreciate Ari taking the time and coming over to chat about it. He's a great guy, and I hope you enjoy the show. If you do, give us that 5 stars on iTunes. That would be greatly appreciated. It helps us book guests, and honestly, it's just nice to read, nice to know that people are enjoying the show. You can also check out badtimesgoodstoriespod.com for past episodes, merch, and a link to the Patreon page, where if you like the show, you could throw just a couple of bucks, equivalent to a cup of coffee or a tin of Spam, a gallon of milk. Not the organic stuff. Let's not get carried away, but just like a store brand gallon of milk. The equivalent of that you could send my way. And allow me to continue to make this show. So thank you for that. You can email me at badtimesgoodstoriespodcast@gmail.com. Share any bad times, good stories you've experienced, and I may just read it on the air. But that's all I've got for now, so without further ado, here's my conversation with Ari Mannis.
I'm one of those guys where I'm a nice guy, and I don't like drama.
Sure,
but maybe I speak my mind, and I'm a little bit of a troublemaker. I'm a natural born troublemaker. I rebel against authority figures.
Okay,
and because of that, it's polarizing. Some people don't like me. Some people find me annoying.
Particularly the people in charge, I would imagine.
Sometimes the people in charge. I do things. People get upset at me. Or sometimes it's my own stupidity. I just do something in that moment, not really thinking about the consequences.
Okay.
And then I suffer them. And then it's negative.
Do you have an example?
I mean, so you've seen the tree story video.
Yes.
So to sum that up real quickly.
Yes, for our viewers and listeners.
I cut down a tree because I wanted an ocean view from my apartment.
And you lived at the ocean?
I lived near the ocean. Yeah. It was actually probably a mile or so away, but it was on top of a hill. So it had this ocean view, but there was a tree in front of my window. But I rented this apartment. It wasn't I didn't own this place.
Okay.
I don't own a place, to be clear. I own a 2017 Mustang convertible Ruby Red.
What was that horsepower?
Over 300 horsepower leather seats, but I do not own the place that I live. So this was an apartment in Santa Cruz in college, and I cut it down. And, of course, I didn't really think about it. I just did it, but people saw me cutting it down. It was in broad daylight.
Chainsaw?
Handsaw.
Handsaw.
So I was out there for like over an hour cutting down this tree. And then, of course, I cut it down. I didn't even think about how to remove the tree or what I was going to do with it, so I just left this dead tree there.
So it was quite clear what had happened.
And then I thought, okay, I didn't think I was going to get caught to begin with, but I was like, if I do get caught, I cut down a tree. What's the consequence going to be? They're going to be like, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. If anything, you gave the place a better
There's
view.
trees everywhere. Yeah, I gave the place a better view, but no, I had to go to court. I got charged as a felon. I got dropped to a misdemeanor, but originally it was charged as a felony. All this shit. It was like, at the time, now it's this story, and it doesn't really matter to me.
Sure.
But at the time, it felt like I ruined my life.
Yeah.
In that week. I was like, all this money. It was over $10,000. I had to get a lawyer. I thought I was going to get kicked out of college. I thought I wasn't going to graduate college, which I don't care about, but it was 3.5 years in.
Really
at this
close.
point. Yeah, I was close to graduating.
Yeah.
So it was like, I just wasted 3.5 years.
What was the legal term for the felony that you committed? Do you remember? Like,
might have just been
property?
destruction of property.
Okay.
I can't 100% remember if that's what it was, but I think that's something along those lines.
Okay. All right. So
I got kicked off campus, had to pay over $10,000 for the tree, the lawyer, everything, court fees. I had to do all this community service. I was on probation for several years.
So you had to go talk to a PO?
No, I didn't have to check in with like a probation officer.
All right, that's good.
But I was on probation in the sense where if I fucked up again, if I did anything criminal again, the consequence would have been worse because it wasn't my first offense. They go, you cut down this tree too, and now you're doing this. You're a fuck up. We're going to have to punish you more or whatever.
Right.
I don't know why it works that way.
No, that's ridiculous.
Maybe I do. I don't know. So, yeah. So that's just one example of kind of just me not really thinking. Maybe it's stupidity. Maybe it's not caring enough about consequences.
Just thinking in the moment. I don't like this thing. I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah. So another example. I think I'm going to leave names out of this story.
Make up fake names if you want. That can be fun.
It could be hard to keep track of.
That's
fun.
true. Maybe
okay. Well, I work at. I do stand-up comedy. If you're watching this and don't know who I am, which I imagine is everyone watching this because no one knows who I am. But I do stand-up comedy at most of the clubs in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. In particular, one of the biggest clubs in Los Angeles. It's something I'm very, very proud of. It's a place that I work at, get to perform at, that every comedian wants to perform at. If they don't want to perform at it, they're probably lying. They're probably jealous that they didn't get to perform at it. It's a prestigious club, and it's my number one goal to perform there. Mm-hmm. And I got a job there, and that everyone who works there is a comedian. And when you perform that, it's an honor. It's a great lineage of people who did it. And there's someone there who's also the talent coordinator who decides who gets to perform, who gets to work there.
Right.
That's his job.
The gatekeeper.
The gatekeeper.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was also my friend and manager, and I didn't look at him as the gatekeeper. But it is important to know that he is a gatekeeper, and he decides. He could easily say, he says it to famous people. He or she will say it to famous people. He'll go up to a famous person, and he'll be like, "Sorry, I'm not that into your comedy." It's that good of a place where they don't care that much if you're famous. It's not about that. They care if they like you or not, and if they like your comedy. So that's a little precursor to where the story's going. I was hanging out with my friends till 2 or 3 in the morning every night, like I do. We go to diners. We goof around. We talk shit. That's something big thing I do in my life. I don't know if you do this. I talk shit about everyone. I'm a big gossiper.
Ooh, nice.
I think all comedians are.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm in a car with comedians, we pretty much just talk shit about other comedians. I couldn't imagine how many people have talked shit about me behind my back because I know I've talked shit about.
It's an equal opportunity situation.
Yeah.
Everyone talks shit, gets shit talked about them.
So we're at this diner, me and my 2 friends. I'll use their real names, Abby and Steven.
Okay.
And we're at this diner, and it's 3 in the morning. We just finished working at the comedy club, performing, working the door. And we thought to ourselves, what do we do now?
Right.
We're bored.
Mm-hmm.
So we had this brilliant idea to create a fake comedian on Facebook.
Okay.
Just to fuck with people. Just
Yeah.
to mess with people, maybe to hit them up, message them weird things, add them, whatever, ask to be on shows. We just thought it'd be funny to create this fake comedian that everyone's talking about in the comedy scene, but no one knows if they met him or her. They don't really know who it's about. They just go, have you seen this guy? So we created this comedian.
Okay.
We looked up a spoken word poet in Nebraska because I don't know if you know what spoken word poets do, but it looks like they're doing stand-up.
Yeah.
They're reading poems, but they're holding the same mic that stand-up comedians hold.
Sure.
If you didn't know what they were doing, you just saw a picture, you're like, oh, that's a comedian.
Right.
So we found like a small-time spoken word poet in Nebraska. I don't even remember what their real name was. I think they were transgendered too, so it looked just like a weird dude, you know, because it was a girl or born a woman that was now a man, so it didn't quite look like a full man. But it did. If you didn't know who it was and you just saw a picture, you'd be like, "That's just a weird dude."
Sure.
That's the way I looked at it. It didn't look like it. You wouldn't say that's a transgendered person,
Right.
Is that the politically correct term for?
Could be.
That? I think it is.
Yeah.
Transgendered.
I think it is.
Yeah. So it was a transgendered man, born a woman, looked like a weird man. But I'm just being honest.
Right.
I don't know if that's offensive. It didn't look like a normal guy.
Seems fair.
Looked like you.
Yeah.
But
just like me.
Just like you. Yeah. No. It looked like you, but no facial hair, and also you'd have no capability of growing facial hair. Yet how old are you?
31.
31.
Yeah.
So 31-year-old you, but with like a little boy face because you couldn't grow facial hair, or a little girl case if we're being technical, because it was born a woman.
To be technical.
Yeah. So that's what this fake comedian, we named it David Howwood.
David Howwood?
David Howwood. It was Howwood. So, and that was part of the fun. We're like, no one's gonna know how to say it. Is it Howwood or Howwood?
That's good.
And so we had that. That was one of the fun elements of it. And we made it look really real because we had this person to steal pictures from, this identity. We were basically stealing someone's identity in a sense.
Right.
We took all these pictures from the spoken word poet. We made the bio look really real. We posted all these dumb statuses about doing shows and stuff.
This is all like 3 a.m. or something?
This is all like 3 a.m. We made it look so real. We added we added thousands of comedians. So if you go to his page and you were a comedian, it would say you have 300 mutual friends, so it looks so real.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, I guess there's a comedian in LA.
Right.
So then we started messing with people.
Okay.
And first it was just little things. We would hit up people who ran shows, and we'd aggressively ask them for spots just so that they would hate David Howwood. we even like made statuses talking shit. Like I have a good friend, Brenton Biddlecombe.
Okay. Good name.
Yeah, that's his real name.
Yeah.
And
good name.
He was hosting Potluck, which is the Monday night at the Comedy Store, and it usually like over 100 comedians sign up to perform on it, and they pick 12 or something. So your chances are slim.
Yes.
And we made this long status like, showed up to the Comedy Store, signed up. Brenton showed me complete disrespect and didn't put me up. And if you don't know Brenton, he's like the nicest, sweetest guy in the world, and would never show anyone disrespect, and he just can't get everyone up. There's 150 comedians. Yeah, he doesn't know who David Howwood is. David Howwood didn't even really sign up, so he didn't even not get him up. So then Brenton posted this like 3-page essay saying, how he started and how hard it is and how he didn't mean to be disrespectful, and
it's a real thoughtful response.
It was just this really thoughtful response, and then we felt really guilty because we're like, damn, we just fucked with Brenton. He's a good guy. So we immediately called him and told him, hey, sorry, that was us. We were just goofing around. And he's like, ha, that's great. He was into it. Started messing with more people. Then there's this girl we have that we're friends with.
Yeah.
And we had even done pranks with her, kind of online pranks with her in the past.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's fuck with her a little bit.
Yeah.
So we added her in a relationship on Facebook with David Howard. And we thought, okay, she's going to wake up and she's going to, because it was 3 a.m,
Right.
remember? She's going to wake up. I think this was even the next night. This was like a week-long prank.
Okay.
We're just messing
Kept
with
it
people.
going. Yeah.
So we thought she's going to wake up. She's going to see this weird dude requesting her in a relationship. It'll just be funny and she'll reject it. And then we'll tell her, we'll say, hey, did you see that relationship request? Who knows? We thought it'd be a goof, you know?
Yeah.
We weren't thinking. We're dumb idiots.
Sure.
There was this bug in Facebook. I don't know how. I don't know if it still happens, but we requested her in a relationship. It announced it to all of Facebook, all of David Howard's friends and all of her friends. So throughout the course of that night, it probably got like 180 likes on the relationship status of all her friends.
Right.
And people are there's comments like, hey, who is this guy? You know, like, you never told us about him. And like, wow, like, just all her friends and family wanting to know about this new boyfriend of hers.
Yeah.
Even though, by the way, she had a real boyfriend too, who we were also friends with. And her real boyfriend was the talent coordinator of this comedy club that we all worked at.
Right.
So she wakes up in the morning to see this relationship on Facebook, having no idea who David Howard is. She's not, I don't want to say she's a famous comedian, but she has a little bit of a following.
Right. Well known.
And she wakes up and she's probably thinking to herself, who is this creep?
Yeah.
I mean, relationship. She's thinking, I have a stalker.
Right.
Who I don't know who he is. He had me on Facebook. He had me in a relationship. I have no idea. Maybe he listens to my podcast. Maybe whatever. She doesn't know. She's kind of scared.
Right.
As opposed to like messed with. She's frightened of this fictional man we created.
Because she's not in on
the joke. This fictional transgendered man.
Who looks like me minus a beard.
Who looks like you. With no beard and baby soft skin. And maybe larger breasts than you.
Yes.
Maybe not. I don't know if... No, actually, I think that he had breast surgery to reduce his...
okay.
So he could have breasts that look like man breasts.
Okay. All right.
But he had scars on his breasts. Like you, but with a baby face and scars all over his breasts.
Right.
So she wakes up to this. And for all I know... She wakes up with her boyfriend. I'm sure they cuddle and sleep together from time to time. They didn't live together, but
it's a fair assessment.
I have a feeling they woke up together. And what do you do in 2018 when you wake up? You go on your phone and you surf social media.
Yep.
So she wakes up to being kind of freaked out. And she's with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
She probably turns to him and was like, hey, I don't know who this guy is. He just added me in a relationship on Facebook. I've never met the guy. I'm freaking out. So, of course, like any boyfriend would, they're probably he's upset, too, because he's going, who's this creep scaring my girlfriend? Who's this weirdo messing with my girl?
Yeah.
Perfectly understandable reaction.
Very reasonable.
That we didn't even think about at all.
No.
So now he's investigating.
Yeah. Who is this guy?
Who is this guy that's messing with my girlfriend?
Yeah.
And remember, we had told a few people that we had pranked, that we messed with, because we'd been doing it a week. Messing with people for a week. So he finds out that it was the 3 of us.
Yes.
The 3 people he hired, the 3 people he gives comedy spots to.
Just a good guy.
3 people, a good guy. Yeah. And not only that, but like he does a lot for us.
Yeah.
You could argue that he is our comedy daddy, whatever. And our friend.
Yeah.
Too.
Daddy friend.
So I get a call from him, and I don't think anything of it because I don't know that she's scared or freaked out or anything, or that he saw it, because I didn't even think about him at all when I did it. I thought I was just messing with her, who's our friend.
Right.
So I get a call from him, And he goes, "Hey, what's up, Ari?" And I go, "Hey, what's up?" Or no, I don't think he didn't say, "Hey, what's up, Ari?" I said, "Hey, what's up?" Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Hey, we're friends, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I got you your job." Like, yeah. He's like, "I give you spots to perform."
Oh, God.
I'm like, yeah. He goes, "Then why the fuck would you do this?" And he's mad. "Why the fuck would you do this to me?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, it hasn't hit me like, what the fuck's going on? He's
right.
never, and by the way, he's never been mad. We've never been mad at each other. He's
right.
never been mad at me.
Oh, God.
Ever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, "You added my girlfriend in a relationship, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I wasn't even thinking about you. When I did, it was a prank. It was just a dumb prank." And he goes, "It was a prank." He goes, "You're an idiot. This is unbelievable." And he hangs up the phone. And he calls my other friend who does the prank with me, yells at him the same way. And we're freaking out. This is, again, it's similar to that sense where with the tree, I had put in 3.5 years, and I was about to graduate.
Right.
I'm not saying I was about to graduate from this comedy club, but I'd put in a lot of time. I'd worked there at this shitty job, and I felt like I threw it all away. I felt like, damn, I'm done at this place. I disappointed my friend. I scared this girl. I'm a fucking idiot. That's what I was saying. I'm like, I am a stupid idiot. and we're all feeling that way, the three of us who did it. We're just like, well, we're done here. On to the next place.
Yep.
We're done at this one.
That's got to just be the worst feeling, too, because it was just so stupid.
It's so stupid, but it's also not, like, to them it's not.
No, of course.
She woke up freaking out.
Right.
And we're not even, we didn't think about it. We didn't think about the repercussions. We didn't think about that she can get scared. Yeah. It was just stupid. It was just a stupid prank.
Yeah.
But in this moment, we're super sad. We're like depressed. We're like, we didn't show up to that place for a week. We didn't do our spots. We didn't call in our avails to perform. We wrote an apology letter, like a heartfelt, long apology letter. We made an apology video.
Wow.
Like we filmed us apologizing.
Did you keep it somber throughout? Did you throw in a few jokes?
We did throw in a few jokes.
Yeah, you can't help yourself.
But it was serious. At the end of the day. It was. We threw in jokes, but it was not a joke apology. It was a real apology.
Yeah.
And we were coming up with plans like let's find his favorite band and get a hold of the singer somehow and get the singer to call in for us and like ask for forgiveness. Like we're like, we'll go to the singer's manager's office and we'll just explain to them and like maybe it'll be so crazy that he'll just pick up the phone and do a phone call for us.
Sure. Yeah.
We'll pay him. Yeah. Yeah, we're in LA. We had these like crazy thoughts like that. Yeah. And then of course, like after those crazy thoughts went away, we go, it's okay. Like that's just one place. We'll perform at other places. It's not a big deal.
This is our life now.
It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. We're like, it'll be good. It'll force us to go other places and it'll just push us to work that much harder.
We have to get a new job too, right?
New job. Well, we didn't get fired, but yeah, we did need to get a new job because we didn't work there for the money. We don't work there for the money. So we had those thoughts.
Yeah.
And a week goes by, and we had to work, still show up for our shifts, and we'd see this guy, and he just didn't make eye contact with us, didn't talk to us, and we felt terrible.
Yeah.
And I think it took about we're friends with all his friends, so we're talking to his friends, and we're like, what should we do? And he's like, don't worry about it. His friend was like, don't worry about it. He'll get over it, man. Yeah. You're fine. Yeah. Just a dumb prank. And we, of course, did not feel that way. No. But then a few weeks goes by, and he hit me up, and he was like, hey, I know you didn't. It was a dumb prank, and you didn't mean anything by it. We're good.
Yeah.
And now we're closer than ever,
No.
And it worked out. But in that moment, what a fuck up.
Yeah.
What a fuck up I was. We deleted that profile, too. If any of you are like, I'm going to look up David Howard. It's David Howard's gone.
He's gone forever.
It scarred us. David Howard scarred the shit out of us.
In the midst of this week that this was going on with David, when you would go to clubs or whatever, did you overhear people talking about him?
We didn't overhear, but if we brought it up,
Yeah, they'd be like, "Yeah, me too."
yeah, they'd be like, "Who is that? What's going on?" So it was. We had some fun with it.
That's good.
Was it worth it? No.
No.
I wish I could remove David Howard from history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this was funny too. I remember someone somehow recognized the spoken word poet.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't like a famous poet or anything. I don't know if there is such thing as a famous poet. Whatever. It was an unknown poet we found. But someone recognized it, and we just like blocked that person on the very because they comment. They go, "This is this person. This isn't a real person." We just instantly deleted and blocked them.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that was just another example of what's the name of this podcast?
Bad Times, Good Stories.
That was a bad time.
Yeah,
What's a good story? I don't know.
who's to say? I thought so.
You thought it was good? Or
Yeah.
you're just saying that? You're polite to all your guests.
Well, that's true. I am. You'll never really know how I feel about it.
Yeah. See, I knew it wasn't a good story. Damn it.
So, was that the last of your pranking? Did you learn your lesson?
No. So then there's more. There's more. That was the last of my pranking with that I'll continue.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there's actually a few more pranks.
Okay.
But I'll
You did
continue.
learn.
I guess I'll continue on the timeline in order. I'll continue in order.
Okay.
There's another Facebook prank. So Facebook has this feature that I'm sure you've seen up to this day. For example, there was just the fires here in Los Angeles.
Right.
What were the fires called? I don't even remember.
Campfires?
Something, it had like a name. They named it.
Bonfires?
They named this fire. That's how much of a big of a disaster it
Yeah.
was. I think 70 people died.
Yeah.
Burned a lot of homes,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of land. People had to be evacuated.
But it can all be resolved if we just start raking our leaves, according to our president.
You know, I'm sure there's stuff we could have done. I'm sure California isn't perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's stuff that could have been maybe some preventative stuff that could have been done. But it's tough.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like, yeah, you should get your oil changed every 3,000 miles. But do we all do it?
No.
No, you can't blame a state for not treating the entire thousands and thousands of miles of land to be fireproof.
Yeah. It's a tough ask.
Yeah, it's easy to say in retrospect, man, you guys should have taken care. Yeah, we should have, but we didn't.
Exactly.
We're humans.
Yep.
So there's these disasters that happen throughout the world.
Mhm.
Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes, shootings, unfortunately.
Yeah, very much so.
All sorts of. That's not. I guess shooting isn't a natural disaster, but it's a disaster,
Yes.
and they plague our Earth. And Facebook has a feature, a novel feature, that when one of these disasters happen, you could mark yourself safe from said disaster.
Yes.
And I noticed that a couple things, especially when this feature first came out on Facebook. Not only could you mark yourself safe, but you could mark others people as safe. So I could mark you if we're friends on Facebook from the fire.
Right.
And which is nice. Like maybe I'm with you and you lost your phone in the fire, but I know that you're safe and I want to alert your friends and family, because when you mark someone as safe, it alerts their entire friend and family. At least it did. I don't think it does anymore. I don't know. But at this time, when I'd mark you as safe from the fire, it would alert every single Facebook friend that you are safe.
Right.
And not only could I mark you safe from a fire, if there was a earthquake in Malaysia, I could mark you safe and all your friends would see Joe is safe from the earthquake in Malaysia.
Okay.
And something about this made me laugh because of how silly it is.
Right.
So this was another late night, and I just started tagging all my friends as safe from an earthquake in Malaysia.
That's what it was. Okay.
So I'm tagging people, and it's silly. And by the way, you have to remember, I'm not marking people as dead in an earthquake from Malaysia. I'm not doing that.
That's good.
I'm marking people who I knew were safe as safe.
Right.
I'm actually, when you think about it, in my defense, I'm using the feature.
Right.
Like it's intended to. Are these people near it? No. But they are safe, and I'm not marking dead people, and I'm not marking people as unsafe. I'm marking people as safe from a disaster when they were, in fact, safe from said disaster.
It's true.
Is it a little goofy? Was my intentions in the best place? Maybe not.
Yeah, perhaps.
But who am I hurting by doing that?
Right.
Who am I really hurting?
Yeah.
No one. But anyway, people did not like this.
No. I'm not surprised.
People thought it was insensitive.
Yes.
People deleted me on Facebook for it.
Wow.
People were commenting, "This is I don't know why you did this. This isn't funny." Okay, maybe it isn't funny to everyone, but I don't understand. I to this day don't understand why it would upset someone so much. Again, it's not. I didn't mark people as unsafe. I would get it if I was like, Joe died in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And then people are freaking out that you died, but you didn't die.
I didn't.
But I wasn't doing that.
No.
I was marking people as safe. So I marked a comedian friend of mine as safe. And he, let me say this too, he is a respected comedian in the field. He's a veteran. He's beloved by pretty much everyone. I don't know anyone who has a negative thing to say about this person. He's working. He makes a lot of money. He is a friend of mine, but you could also say he's a mentor.
Okay. Yeah.
Figure.
Friend and mentor.
He is I wouldn't call him a peer, if that makes sense. I would call him a role model, someone I would strive to be like.
Yes.
Someone who I respect.
Right.
And I marked him as safe.
Okay.
From whatever disaster it was. Let's just say it was the earthquake, Malaysian earthquake. I don't remember if there was an earthquake in Malaysia, but something like that.
Yeah.
And this was, again, because all this stuff happens when I'm bored at 3 a.m. So I did this. And he woke up and he had comments on it. Oh my God, like, are you okay? Like, I didn't know you were in Malaysia. This is, I'm so glad you're safe. Things like that.
Right.
Which again, I also don't get the people who are like, are you okay? It says he's okay.
Sure.
That's what it says on the update. It says he is safe.
Yeah.
But he got very mad at me, and he says that he had his niece and nephews calling him crying, like worried about him.
Right.
And again, this goes back to my defense is it says he was safe. Didn't say he was unsafe. It says he was safe. So I don't know what there is to cry about if he's safe. But of course, I do feel bad about that. I do feel bad that his family was worried and called him and he wasn't even in Malaysia. But this upset him a great deal.
Yes, yes.
And he was very mad at me. And I think we're fine now. But there was a period of time.
Did you also reach out to his favorite band's manager to get and make a video?
No, I wasn't as close to this person.
Okay.
And I didn't feel, to be honest, like I deserved to be. Look, I'm defending myself.
Yes.
I wish I could take it back still because I don't want to upset people.
Right.
I don't want to cause people anger and pain. That's not my intent. I want to create laughter.
Yes.
And for the prank to be funny, and this prank was not funny to this person and to a lot of people.
Yes.
Now, if I don't know the person and they don't like the prank, I don't give a shit.
Sure.
But I don't want to upset my friends and people I respect. So I apologize for that.
Yes.
But yeah.
I think the implication is that people will then assume that person is in the country where the thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where it gets dicey. However, I think also people get on Facebook and their fingers are just tingling, waiting to be offended about something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a big part of it, for sure.
So
when someone really breaks down, I remember playing, when people get upset on Facebook, I would play really dumb when I did that prank.
Oh, nice.
So someone would be like, this isn't funny that you tagged this person as safe in the Malaysian earthquake. And I'd be like, well, yeah, what's funny about it? He's safe though.
Yeah.
So I would just play it really dumb.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, I was letting all his friends and family know that he's safe. What's funny about that? And they'd be like, well, I don't think this is the way that Facebook intended the feature to be used. Then why can it be used? Then I'd be like, well, then why can I use it this way?
Right. It knows where we are. It knows where all of us are.
Yeah. If it's not intended to be used, then how come I just used it that way?
Right.
What do you mean? Why are you to say it wasn't intended to be used this way? Now you know he is safe.
Yeah.
So I would play it really dumb. And then most people at the end would just go, okay, well, I guess I'm not offended. I just think that you didn't know how to use the feature properly. And I'd be like, okay, well, agree to disagree.
I love it when people are so dug in and that they just have to have some sort of resolution in these Facebook arguments.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about right now that people are getting upset about this. Fine. Say it's not funny. Say you don't think it's a good prank. Fine.
Right.
Or don't say anything. How about that?
Yeah.
You don't need to say that either.
Don't know that
how about just ignore it?
Yeah, I don't know that I've commented on Facebook in over a year on anything.
People don't. I still
so
use
easy.
Facebook the most, but everyone's on Instagram now. And they don't have this safety feature.
I still check Facebook. I just don't engage with anyone. I find it to be
Probably
very
smart.
easy.
Probably the smart thing. Oh, I just thought of another one.
Okay. All right. Good.
I just thought of. Oh, this is a good one.
Okay. All right.
I don't know how I thought to do this prank. And this upset people too. Most people like this one, but everything upsets someone.
Of
like you
course.
said, people are just insensitive.
Yeah.
Or sensitive.
Yes.
So I don't remember how I thought to do this prank or why this thought came to me.
Okay.
I think it came from I had a friend who had to put down his cat at the vet.
Okay.
It's a real thing he had to do.
Yeah.
He was very sad about it. Sad.
Sure.
He loves his
Sad
cat.
thing.
I'm not a cat person, but I understand that people love cats and can be attached to their cat. And I feel for them if their cat that they love had to be put down. That's a tragic thing to do. And I remember him saying to me that he had to spend like $400 or $500 at the vet to put his cat down. And I remember thinking to myself, like, that's so expensive to put down a cat. You know, if I mean, I understand you want to put your cat out of pain, so at that point you'll pay it. But like for me, I was thinking like I would never spend $400 to put down a cat.
No,
that seems crazy. I would just let it die, or I would kill it myself. I don't know. I don't know what I would do. So I was like, that would be a really funny Craigslist gig post. If I said, I have a sick cat, the vet wants to charge $400 to put it down, is there anyone out there that could put it down for cheaper? So I Googled a picture of a cat, of like a really cute cat.
Yeah.
And I made a gig, and I said, I think I made up a name for it too. I was like, this is my cat Spreckles. She's unfortunately really sick and has to be put down. Or no, I don't even think I said sick. I said the vet wants to charge $400 to put the cat down.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend that much. How much can you put it down for, and how would you do it?
Yeah.
I said, I made it crazy. Like, if you were any software, you know this post is fake. But I said, please send me a picture of yourself, how much you would kill my cat for, and how much you would kill it for. So I was getting these psychos.
Oh my God.
Responding to the ad.
Yeah.
For, remember, my non-existent cat. No cat is being harmed in this prank. Nothing is being physically harmed in this prank. This is a non-existent cat. I don't have a pet cat.
Yes. The only people that are in the way of this are lunatics who spend 30 seconds responding to your email.
So I would get selfies from dudes, and I say dudes because no girl offered to kill my cat. That's not sexism. That's just the facts. No girl responded offering to kill my cat. Only men did. So I'd get selfies from like weird dudes with face tattoos, and it was like, I'll kill it for $100 and I'll strangle it. Or like someone was like, I'll poison it, or someone's, all sorts of methods of how they're going to kill the cat, and how much. Someone's like, I'll do it for $50. Someone's like, I feel for you, man. I'll do it for free. Like crazy responses. And honestly, I also got real responses too. from like vet people that said I would do it for this price and you know, we'll do it painlessly with a shot. Like I got real legit responses from people and they did not attach a selfie or anything like that or a picture of themselves like I requested. And then I would respond back and I'd say, please send a picture of yourself. I would fuck with them. And then I would get responses from loving cat owners like, oh my gosh, it's so sad. Why are you putting down the cat? Are you sure you need to put down? I'll come and take it from you. You know, people who want to rescue the cat.
Yeah.
And I'll be, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the best guy. I responded to some of those and go, no, this cat's really mean. Like I would say things like I'm putting, I'd make it sound like I was really insensitive. I would fuck with people a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I took a screenshot of my ad.
Yeah.
And I posted it on my Facebook because I thought it was funny. It was like this clearly weird, funny thing.
Right.
And then I would also take screenshots of the insane responses I would get from these crazy people.
Yes.
And I would post them on like in unison with this post so that people could see the ad I made and these crazy responses. I get it. You know, this prank is edgy. I don't know what you want to say. I guess morbid. It's not like, it's a little dark.
Yeah.
But again, nothing is being harmed in this. This is a fictional cat, Spreckles, that does not exist.
Was that a combination of sprinkles and freckles?
Whatever, Spreckles. Yeah, whatever I named the cat. I made that name up for this story. I don't remember what I actually named the cat.
That's a good name.
This was like a year ago or something.
Yeah.
And again, most people were like, "This is so weird, haha," and they liked it. I mean, it was a popular post,
universally liked.
It was, but there's people, and it's like also if you're friends with me on Facebook, I'm gonna be doing shit like this too. Right. So I got this post from this girl who I went to high school with. Actually, she's known me for a long time, knows me well enough to know that this is not a weird thing. And she's a cat owner, and she goes, "Oh my God, this is a horrible post. I'm reporting you to the animal controller." I forget what she said. She was serious. She was like, "I'm reporting you to animal." Okay. And I responded, and I was like, "Hey, this isn't a real cat. This is a fictional cat." And she goes, "I don't care. I'm reporting you." And then she blocked me. And she blocked me on Facebook. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Is she just mad that she fell for it? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand people. I don't understand people. That's what this comes down to. I don't understand why people can't take a joke. What happened to her? Why she can't take this joke? I think her name was Emily.
Well, I love that she was, even though there were no actual animals involved, she was still going to report you to the animal.
Yeah, it made no sense. It made no sense. And it made no sense that she was upset. Like, even if you're upset, if you're like, "Oh my God, poor cat," like you have to go through the vet. And it's like, if for all she knows, and also, like if I were to see that post, even if I loved cats and I was like, "Oh, this is so horrible for that cat," it's obvious that it's someone's pet cat and they don't want to put down themselves. It's probably a sick cat. That's why most people put down cats.
Generally.
So even if this was a real post, which it wasn't, I wouldn't be offended right off the bat when I look at this post. I'd be like, maybe I'd inquire more information. I hope that you go to someone who could put the cat down without any pain, and I hope the cat's sick and is going to a better place. But to be offended second one, I think is wrong, because for all I know, I had a very, very sick cat, and I was looking for the best, cheapest way to put it down. I couldn't afford the vet, and I wanted to euthanize it in the most harmless way.
Well, yeah, nobody does any research. They just read it and respond.
Yeah. So it's just a read, respond, getting offended. Not cool.
So then you learned your lesson, and there were no more of these, right?
No, well, see, the only one I think of so far of all those stories that I've told, only the one at the comedy club is the only one I regretted.
Sure.
Because I think I was wrong. Even putting aside the guy getting mad at us, I scared a girl unintentionally.
Right.
I made her wake up and think she had a stalker.
Yeah.
And I do admit that I didn't think about that ahead of time. I didn't foresee that happening. And I felt like I was wrong and shouldn't have done it.
Right.
I regretted my actions. The other times, I'm like, these people need to lighten up.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
A little bit, in my opinion. No pranks in your life. You're a sweet, innocent boy. You're a sweet, innocent, transgendered boy.
I mean, I was in like 6th grade, and that was when the rave was to get down on your hands and knees behind somebody and then have somebody else push them, and then they would fall over.
Like trip, like you trip, you put someone over someone else.
Yeah.
You push them down
tabletop?
on the ground.
Is that
I forget what that's called, but yeah, I remember when that was popular.
Yeah.
I wonder how many kids broke their arms from that prank.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was not popular in 6th grade.
You were?
No.
You look like you would have been popular.
Yeah, with his beard and everything.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you had that beard in 6th grade.
But there was a kid who was less popular than me, and I saw it as a chance to gain popularity points.
Is that truly what you were thinking? Is that what was going through your head? This is going to make me cooler?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because a cooler person was like, hey.
Egging it on.
Yeah. Hey, let's, I'm going to get behind Julian. And
you push him.
Yeah. And then
I'll push him. You never see it coming because you're a nerd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That part was probably just subtext. I don't think he actually said that. But it was
I'm
clear.
sorry.
We were all right. That's quite all right. Yeah.
You weren't a nerd. You were a cool guy.
Yeah, it's quite true. I was. I'm sure that's how that guy saw it. So anyway, I did it. And then the kid looked so betrayed. He expected it from the asshole popular guy, but he was like, we're in this together, man. And just the look on his face. So I went and bought him. Do you remember All Sport? It was the third.
Isn't that like a Gatorade clone?
Yeah, Gatorade, Powerade. It didn't survive.
Right. I do remember that. I remember not really liking it that much.
No, it wasn't great. It wasn't great.
So it deserved to be gone.
Yeah, I only remember it from that high school because I remember in gym class, if you ran a 9-minute or an 8.5-minute mile or less, you got a free All Sport. And I was never close to that, but I didn't really mind because I didn't really want an All Sport. However, at the concession stands of this middle school football game I was at, I felt so bad for this kid that I pushed that I bought him 5 All Sports. And then he didn't know what to do with them. And so he threw one at me. And since then, I haven't really done a lot of pranks.
You apologized and got him All Sports. Yes. And instead of taking the apology, he's still like, no, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
And he threw it.
Yeah.
Did you ever make up with him?
We were never really particularly close anyway.
But did you ever get back to where you were, or he just hated you from then on out until he was out of your life?
I would imagine after a couple weeks he calmed down. Maybe he thought, well, he did try to apologize. And maybe he liked All Sport. Maybe that's
so you don't really remember how your relationship with that person.
It was a pretty insignificant relationship.
If you were to do a 12-step program right now.
Yes.
Are you in a 12-step? You're not allowed to talk about it, I guess, if you are. Or you're not supposed to.
I'm not.
So if you're, do you know what they are?
I'm familiar. I don't know all the steps, but
neither do I.
Okay.
But I know that one of the steps of a 12-step program is you have to go and make amends.
Yes.
So with everyone?
Yeah.
So if you were to do a 12-step program and you had to make amends with people in your life, would you contact this person and just say, hey, I just want to say I'm sorry again?
I think I would.
For that
The
incident?
look of hurt on his face has haunted me for many years, to the point now that...
Do you remember that person's name?
Julian.
Julian.
Yeah.
Sorry, Julian.
His dad was a DJ at the middle school dances, and
His dad was a DJ.
Yeah, and he was known for chugging a whole 2 liter of Coke.
The dad chugged the 2 liter.
Yes, we thought he was
the dad
cool.
Fat?
He was fairly, he was a large man.
So everyone liked his dad.
Yeah, enough,
Interesting.
Yeah, but it didn't.
His
rub
dad's
off
a
on him.
fat DJ who chugged a 2 liter of Coke who did dances at an elementary school.
Yeah.
I wonder why this kid turned out to be a nerd. Seems like the recipe for a cool kid.
Yeah.
It actually kind of does, though. It seems like the dad would try and make the kid cool. Maybe a lot of people rebel against what their parents are into. Like when I was a kid, my parents liked the Beatles a lot.
Yeah.
Beatles are arguably, one of the most liked bands of all times. I don't think even if someone doesn't like that kind of music, I don't think anybody could listen to the Beatles and be like, well, this sucks.
No.
There's nothing to dislike about it. They have
Right.
nice voices.
Yeah.
They're not
Good melodies.
and they're not the type of melodies that are like kind of loud or crashing. So even if you don't like it, you could be like, yeah, it's good and it's good background, whatever.
Right.
But when I was a kid, my parents liked the Beatles, so I hated the Beatles. Beatles sucked.
Yeah, fuck them.
Shut off the Beatles, they suck.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it was. Maybe his dad was so cool that he's like, fuck this, I'm a nerd.
Yeah. I'm not going to drink Coke. I'm going to drink All Sport.
I'm going to drink All Sport.
The dad also wore black leather vests at the dances.
I think this show with the dog in the background, you should just make it even weirder and have like a little person sitting on top of the oven as your sidekick and just go full on weird with it.
Yeah. Sometimes the dog will walk up and burp during interviews. One time it took a shit during an interview.
Really?
Yeah. I love this dog. It's just the best.
Girlfriends, right?
Yeah, right. Terrific. I do love her. The girlfriend, not the dog.
How long have you been dating her?
3 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
When are you going to ask her to marry you?
Never.
Never?
Yeah.
You don't believe in marriage?
Yeah, I do. I just don't think it's going to work out.
Not with this one.
No.
This one's just girlfriend material, not wife material. It's a long girlfriend to not live together, but not wanting to get married.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you guys should break up then.
You think?
You're not going to marry her 31.
It's true. I am getting older.
You go look, if you want to get married,
Yeah.
you can't be in a relationship with a girl you know you're not going to marry.
That's true. It just seems like a hard thing to do.
Call her right now and break up with her over the podcast.
Yeah, wouldn't that be good?
I dare you.
No, I'm just going to put it off for another year and a half, probably.
She doesn't listen to this.
She does. Yeah. This
So you're
will
gonna
lead to
have
an
to edit this
uncomfortable
out.
conversation. Or I'll just edit it out. I'm actually debating
Leave it
right
in.
now.
This is how she's going to find out that she's been broken up with. Yeah. You don't have to tell her. Listen, it's like when you're a little kid, and remember that when you're a little kid, and the friend would break up with the friend for you.
I was that friend. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like, "Hey, just so you know, Jim isn't dating you anymore. You're dumped."
Yeah. 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 I was the messenger.
Hey.
And this podcast.
Hey, just so you know, Joe no longer wants to be with you.
Yeah.
Get your stuff and move out of the apartment.
But
Joe's
if you could
keeping the
still
place.
pay rent.
Yeah, pay half the rent.
Yeah. That would
Get out of Koreatown.
Yeah.
All right, we got 3 minutes. I'll do one more.
Okay.
So this is a different comedy club
Okay.
that I'm going to talk about here.
Yes.
And this comedy club is kind of the opposite of the other comedy club, the first
Okay.
one. This comedy club is a comedy club, and I'll do spots there, and a lot of great comedians do spots there.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been around as long as one of the newer clubs. And they have some, I don't want to say shady business practices, but business practices that are less respected in the comedy industry.
Okay. Such as?
Such as booking a lot more bringer shows where
Yeah.
the comedians have to bring people in order to perform.
Yes.
Such as having comedians work for them for free
Okay.
in trade for spots.
Yeah.
They basically take advantage of newer comedians to profit the club
Right.
for money.
Yes.
And some could argue they're giving these new comedians opportunities, and that's true.
Yeah.
But also some can argue that, hey, why don't you just have a little respect and not take advantage of people?
Also a valid point.
And, these people are willing to do it. They're not saying... Anyway.
Right.
Long story short, this comedy club isn't respected. No one is saying to themselves, I gotta perform here. At least no working comedian is saying, oh no, I can't perform there anymore. Like it's people joke about it.
Right.
About this place a little bit. And they have open mics 7 days a week. There's another thing that makes it a little less respectable. A good comedy club has shows 7 days a
Right.
week.
Headliners and things.
Yeah, this comedy club has shows, but they also have open mics 7 days a week because they want comedians in there buying drinks. Whereas other clubs are reaching out, trying to get customers to buy drinks. A lot of their business comes from comedians because here in Los Angeles, there's thousands of comedians.
Yes.
It's pretty interesting to think about. In any other city in the United States, of course, probably minus New York City, but in any other big city, San Diego, Chicago, comedy clubs make their money from customers, people going to watch comedy.
Right.
And most in LA are the same thing, but there's a club in LA that without the comedians would most likely go out of business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a business model that wouldn't work in most places in the country. So that's to give you a perspective of this club. We thought it would be a funny idea, me and my friend Abby again, to make a Craigslist ad. We made a Craigslist. I guess a lot of my pranks involve Craigslist.
Yeah.
And we posted a thing saying, looking for a new guitar player to go to Bumbershoot. Bumbershoot's a big music festival, I think, in Seattle.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
And then we put in the post, hey, we're a band. We just had a falling out with our guitar player. We did a new one in 3 weeks for Bumbershoot or whatever it was. You'll be paid $4,000. That doesn't include airfare. We like to have fun, but if you have any substance abuse issues, this isn't the gig for you as we're professionals. Said, we're not going to sit here and say this is going to lead you to joining the band, but it's always a possibility.
Right.
So we made it look really real.
Very legit post.
We said, we're having auditions at this comedy club's open mic on this day at this time. Go there, sign up as a first-timer. And we said, please don't bother the staff with any questions, as they are nice enough to let us use the venue for free.
Oh.
We're thinking maybe a couple guitar players are going to show up. Oh, we also said, show up to the venue, you get 3 minutes, start out the audition by saying your name, how long you've been playing guitar, who your influence is, and then play an acoustic guitar piece with no lyrics.
Yes.
We're thinking 2 or 3 people are going to show up.
Oh, boy.
There must have been 15 to 25 guitar players at this comedy club at this open mic.
Oh, God.
So we get there, and we're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And the other comedians are saying, there's a lot of guitar comedians at this mic.
Right, so this is just a standard open mic night for comedians.
Mic night, yeah. At a comedy club.
Right.
So the mic starts. The first guy goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my name's so-and-so. I've been playing guitar for 11 years. My influences are Kurt Cobain, blah, 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 blah. Then goes into a silent acoustic guitar piece. Really good. People thought it was like this alternative weird comic that wasn't going to say any jokes, that was just playing guitar.
Yeah.
So they're like chuckling a little bit. They're like, I guess this guy's not going to say any jokes. He gets up. A second guy goes up, does the same thing.
Oh, God.
Now people are just like confused. The third guy goes up, same thing. I remember the girl who works at the club was like, well, we do have a festival coming up here, and we do have some musical acts, so I guess this isn't a complete waste for you guys. You might get booked at that festival. Like trying to just be like nice and supportive, but like doesn't know what she's talking about. The next guy goes up. I remember this one guy. He was like fat, and he had like a beard kind of like mine in the sense where he couldn't grow a full beard, but it was longer, but it was like long and just it looked like a shitty beard. He was like nerdy looking dude. And he had a nylon string guitar. He's like, hey, I'm so-and-so. I've been playing guitar for this many years. These are my influences. And he goes into this like beautiful, just classical guitar.
Yeah.
Silent. And I remember it was so beautiful. And people in the crowd were like actually getting into it.
Yeah.
And me and Abby were just in the back crying, laughing. Like we had to run out of the room because we were laughing so hard and people were getting into this. And it was just... I haven't laughed this hard to this day. This was probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I have not made myself laugh, or no one has yet to make me laugh as hard as I laugh to this day. So we're crying laughing. And then literally probably 8 guitar players go up, and there's comedians in the back going, what's going on? Like,
sure.
This is bullshit. What is this?
Yeah.
This isn't comedy. And then finally the owner of the comedy club comes in, and she says, hey, I don't know who said there was a band audition going on here, but there is not. This is a appears to be some sort of prank.
Yeah.
This is a comedy open mic. We're not going to be having any more guitar players tonight. I apologize if you wasted your time. She goes, and if anyone, and whoever did this, please come forward. Of course, we did not come forward.
Because that always works.
Yeah.
It was me.
So we laughed. We had a great day, and we left, and that was it. Nothing bad happened from that at all.
No. Well, except
That
for
was just another prank. It wasn't. What was the name of the podcast? Good stories.
Bad times, good stories.
Bad times, good stories.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
I wanted to end it on a positive note. I know.
For you.
I know you wanted
Yeah.
it to be a bad time. It was. I guess it was a bad time for
all
that
of them,
club owner and all of them. But I thought, someone was like, "That's funny," but don't you feel guilty and bad for those guitar players? You know how many shitty commercial auditions? You know how many times I've driven to Santa Monica for a cattle call, shitty commercial audition that I had no chance of getting? Yeah, I feel bad for them. I also feel bad for all the times I've done it. No, I know that doesn't make it better. That doesn't make it better. But
as long as you got a good chuckle out
I
of it.
sacrificed these strange guitar players for the greater good of the story on this podcast.
Who knows? Maybe
For all
one
these
of them.
listeners. This is a story that they'll go on to tell.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
one of those people is going to be in a successful band, and they'll be like, they're going to be interviewed, and they're going to be like, man, was it hard coming up as a musician? Be like, this one time.
Some asshole
Yeah.
came up with a fake post. But it ended up being the kick that I needed. I hadn't played in 5 years, and performing on that, that's
they
the
got to
happy.
play in front of an audience.
Yeah, yeah. So you're welcome, guitarist who wasted your time.
I realize that after listening to this podcast, people are going to think that I'm a bad guy. And sorry. I'm sorry. Am I sorry? I'm sorry. So sorry.
You don't owe them anything. You didn't do anything to them.
I'm so sorry.
That's good. Well, where can people follow you and follow your being a bad guy life?
Just I'm everywhere. Website, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm everywhere at Ari Mannis. AriMannis.com.
Cool. And then you have a podcast too, right?
I have a podcast on licensed therapy. I've had a lot of amazing comedian guests. It's where people come in and I give them advice on their problems.
Oh, okay.
And has there been a divorce from this podcast? Maybe. You have to listen and find out. Has someone gotten a divorce from it? Yeah, you never know.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah. Has someone moved out of Los Angeles and given up on their dreams for my advice?
Possibly.
Who knows?
I could see that.
I'm sorry.
Not a reflection of you, but just in general.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Me too.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on.
That was the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, thanks to Ari for coming over and talking about his Facebook prank shenanigans. Really enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. If you did, give us that 5 stars on iTunes. Check out badtimesgoodstoriespod.com and email me at badtimesgoodstoriespodcast@gmail.com. Again, Ari's podcast is called Unlicensed Therapy, where he gives unsolicited advice to his friends and fellow comedians. That's all I've got for this week, so until next Wednesday, keep laughing.